case you guys are unaware, I was at EVO Japan last weekend, or the weekend before last, because last weekend just went, and that was Brussels Challenge, which I wasn't at, but I was at EVO Japan. I was in Japan. It was my first time in Japan. I had an amazing time in Japan. I have no Japan vlog content before anyone asks. I just wanted to exist in the moment more than anything. I don't like doing this a lot, camera out, like I like to exist in the moment. I took a few pictures and stuff like that, but you don't care about that. You care about EVO Japan, and you care about the title of this video. Because at EVO Japan, I had to play against the previous EVO Japan champion, and that was Chikurin. He was in my round 3 pools for EVO Japan. It's the only game I got to play on stream. I had a long and arduous run. You know, it was a long day. Working super hard. I'm such a champion and a hero. But yeah, I was playing Tekken 8 at EVO Japan. And going into the tournament, I was kind of thinking to myself, just like, I was just trying to keep it cool than anything. Like, it was my first time in Japan. That's really what I wanted to enjoy and experience. My first ever EVO Japan. I was just like, whatever happens, I'm just going to go out there and do my best. I'm just going to play good Tekken. And I think when it gets to an event like this, like a huge event, a very, very, very difficult one, my mind is always in a place of, you know, I'll only ever really be upset if I don't play my best Tekken. That's kind of why I get upset more than anything. You know, you can't control the result, you can't control the outcome, but you can control how you approach that result. So that was really my thoughts and feelings. Just a little background before we begin. My path to get into Chikurin. So played, you know, my pools matches. First game. My first game was actually quite difficult. This was an Ana player, I think an American Ana player. It was actually quite probably my hardest match in pools actually. Was here, and the rest of these were just this was a Law player, then a Raven player. Go out pools, and then I was going to play Uno, this Lee player. He was someone that I was actually preparing for quite a bit because it's pretty good. I know he'd been Matsuba in tournament before, so this is someone I was preparing for. And then he just like disappeared when it got to time. Like they were calling him, nowhere to be seen. So nice win there. Then I had to play Book. Again, another previous EVO Japan champion. So it's like they're already throwing the EVO Japan champions. I mean, they didn't want your boy to succeed, but I beat Book. I believe Spag actually recorded the last game of that, so I might put that up on the internet somewhere so you guys can see the last. It was the last game. It was 2-1. He won the first game, then I won the next 2. So that might be somewhere on the internet for you guys to see. And then I had to play against Chikurin, and you guys can obviously see the score. You guys know what happened there. I lost the game. But we can see how it happened, you know, because I mean, you guys should know by now I lost to like Chikurin was like 1 game away from top 8. So, you know, if you're paying attention to EVO Japan, you should know that happened. But like, yeah. And we're going to take a look against me versus the incumbent EVO Japan champion. And he went for the Clive. Now, this was interesting to me because I was kind of expecting Clive. I had seen Chikurin play on stream at EVO Japan. Like I saw a few of his other games, and he had been playing the Clive. So I was like, okay, he's probably gonna go for Clive. I think Lily is the better matchup for Hwoarang. For Lily, not for Hwoarang. I think it's a worse matchup for Hwoarang. I think Clive is kind of whatever. But my biggest problem going into the set is I hadn't played against Clive at all this season. This match here was my first time playing against Clive in season 2. I think my first time actually playing against Clive in tournament, actually, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, it was my first time playing against Clive in season 2. I was like, okay, we've got to deal with the change in the differences. I don't know what's going on. Let's try and make it work. When it comes to me, this season, it's all about doing the new stuff, right? Like, I think it's important to try and see what they know and see what they don't know. So if I want to come to using Hwoarang in Tekken 8, in season 2 anyway, just do the new stuff, see what they know. See, because people don't know Hwoarang in the first place. Like, people have not labbed the old stuff when it comes to Hwoarang. So the new stuff, let's see what we can do with that. So obviously open up with the new low. Nice block from Chikurin. It's minus 14, so Chikurin was just late on his punish. So nothing from there. Now this parry is important. And it's important to see how Chikurin approaches situations like that. Again, that low is actually minus 12. Now I found this interesting, right? So the 4-3 and there the 4-3. So Chikurin, I think a lot of Japanese, the Japanese playstyles wasn't too very aggressive. They mash a lot. They didn't respect plus frames. So this is something I could kind of expect going into it. Could have done a mid there instead, but you know, I'm being hindsight man right now. But anyway, he bursts down 4-4 to catch him moving. And again, exact same situation where I do the 2-4 into right flamingo, and again he does another parry. So that's something that already in the first round I have to look out for the rest of the set. And here's like, it was my that was my first time ever experiencing that in a game. I was just like, oh my god, because I forgot that was a thing. When playing it, it's one of his most important. I completely forgot about that. I just got grabbed. I just got grabbed from half screen. I was like, oh my god. I think it might be reactable. But obviously I've not played against Clive a lot, so I don't have the. I haven't seen it enough to react to the animation. I have the muscle memory, so you know, I just had to deal with it. Got pulled in close. I think it's like +3. I think when he pulls you in, something like that. Down back for 1+2 and the 4-2. I think I tried a 2 jab there. I wanted to try and interrupt him if he gave me the gap, but he did not give me the gap. Skyrocket into Power Crush. Classic Chaos right now. Good duck there. But again, just being annoying. I think I did sidestep. Yeah, he got me though with that rage out. And the thing is, I think these rage outs are pretty. I don't know. I'm in two minds about them, right? So we'll just take a look at this. How we go into this situation, right? So sidestep 4 on plus, down back 4. Hell sweep. Now the hell sweep is not plus, but he did parry. A lot of people treat that hell sweep like it's plus, and that's something I need to exploit more. Especially that if I do it the first time and you react as if it is plus, I feel like it's something to really keep in mind. But then he burst and he rages. So I find rage outs like this very interesting because look at the life, right? Like me personally, I look at these rage outs as a waste of rage. Like, yeah, it's probably gonna land, but like you're still a huge life to see you. You're not getting the extra bonus damage from being in rage. But they're also pretty free because I'm less likely, your opponent is less likely to be looking for a rage out in this situation because of the reasons I mentioned, right? So you have a high chance of it connecting and starting your comeback from there. They worked out. I still have heat. I still have like 3/4 of my heat bar, half of my heat. Well, I literally just heat bursted, so I have half of my heat bar. He's probably going to heat burst it. Yeah, that's a very classic situation. And for me, it's just about getting into a situation where I try not to throw, to duck, try not to throw. No whiff punish there. Very sloppy Tekken for me. I do have to say that was quite sloppy. Again, another round style with a down 3+4. Sidestep 2-1. Easiest hit confirm in the game. Full crouch down 4-2. Again, you're going to see me power crush a lot. This is because obviously I played a lot of Clive. I haven't played Clive this season, but generally I played a lot of Clive. Like he was probably towards the end of last season my highest played secondary. And knowing situations like back 2 into Phoenix shift, like power crush is going to beat most things. So it's just for me, it's keeping that type of stuff in mind. I don't let him feel comfortable because, you know, back 2 on block, you'd have to normally hold the mix up. I'm gonna have to try and power crush there, see what I can do. So you see that time, I actually tried to bait the parry, right? Because every time I'd done 2-4, he done the parry. So I was like, I'll bait the parry and then I'll launch him for it, right? He just sidewalk left. He kept it very simple. Another heat burst. 1-1. Forward 2-1. Like, bro, the Clive heat, I think, is crazy. I think Clive heat is kind of insane. Chikurin actually thinks Clive is a top 5 character, I think, as well right now. I think he said top 5, so unfortunate drop there, but the wall's gonna be my friend. Yeah, the wall's my friend. Finishes the down 4-1-2 string. Hell sweet, first one he did on the set. I'm always gonna mash there. Down 4-3 to keep him in check. Bad turn. Throw mix up. He break. So this is something I've noticed a lot recently as well. Back in Tekken 7, when I go for the back turn throw mix up, like I went for the 2 option there. You can see the 2 options starting up. Most people were breaking 1+2. You know, most people, when I did the back turn throw, I did the 2 option. Most people were breaking 1+2, right? So that was like a bit easy for me. I could almost always get the 2 option, right? But I've noticed now a lot of people are defaulting to the 2 break first instead of second now. And the reason I think that is I don't even think it's a Hwarang comfortability thing. I think it's the fact that you see when he does his back turn throw mix up now, it's homing, right? The throw is homing. I think people are seeing the fact that it's the homing throw, and because Hwarang's 2 throw from standing is homing, I think that's why people are breaking the 2 more often now. Down 3+4. that was a big mistake on mine. There quite a few big mistakes in mine there. So right, I did down 3+4 into the up forward 4. Like this was just like I didn't have the read on it. There wasn't really a read here. Because every time I did down 3+4, he was just sidewalking either way. Like that's what he was doing every time. So that was just unnecessary for me. Then down 1+2 into the back one. So this it's annoying, right? But like it's because of the pushback created here that like yeah, down 1+2 is minus, but the pushback here will basically a neutral situation. So understanding that I'm gonna want to come in and take my turn, I just get counter hitting that, which is like fair enough. Like down 1+2, that pushback is kind of crazy. You know, I don't know if that's season 2. I don't know whether it's always been like that, but like it had me a bit like damn, darn it. And then I really started thinking here because so when it comes to me versus Clive, I prefer to play Clive versus Clive. And I was really thinking about it. Because when it comes to Clive, I much prefer playing Clive versus Clive. I feel like I understand how to play versus Clive using Clive more than anything, right? Like when I'm playing Clive and I'm going against Clive, I feel like Clive has the best tools to deal with Clive. So this is something I was really thinking about. Like, do I go for the Clive? But I was like, Warren's my guy at the end of the day. I've just not played I've played a lot of Clive. Like I feel like I have the experience to play Clive, to beat Clive, but I've not played any Clive in season 2, and that's the biggest problem, right? Like I feel like it's just not worth the risk of playing a character I have experience with. I know how to deal with another character, but it's just this is a new season. You know, I don't even know all of Clive's changes, you know. So what if I did something that like this worked in season 1, why is it not working now? You know, I don't think Clive had any dramatic changes to where that would really come into effect. Like I know Xantex's Tekken build was easier. Stuff like I think while setting 1-2 is safer now. But like it was just like that it just wasn't worth the risk, you know. Like I know Clive on paper. I know how to beat Clive on paper, and Hwarang's my guy. So we're just gonna go with what I know best, right? I hate that get up kicks are safe, by the way. Got the just frame there. Down for I knew I was gonna do down for 3 as well there. I there was no reason not to. +1 he went for a throw, luckily. So yeah, I think here's my direction. My direction going into this game, you can't tell already, was like I just have to be more aggressive more than anything. Like my thinking in the first game was like there were too many moments of just like passiveness. I'm letting him, you know, sort of run over me. When I am aggressive, I'm taking too long to do my option, or I'm doing a bad option. Like, you know what? I just have to be more aggressive, bro. Like that was just my main thinking, I think, going into it. I didn't even use my tornado. Yeah, I was thinking that no. I knew for a fact I'm not going to use my tornado. Take him back to the wall, keep the pressure going. Like I feel like just very imperative to just be more aggressive, get in his head, play K-West Tekken, right? Like do what I do best. And again, that's just him showing to me that he thinks the Hell Sweep is plus. I'm -1 there, so I want to know if I made use of that though moving forward. I think that's an early heat burst, not a great heat burst in my opinion. I thought that was going to wall blast, I remember. Power crush there, do not let him get started. Keeping it simple. Down D4, down D4, down D4. I deserved this, by the way. I got very cheeky. I think in that situation it was very much like, I don't know, like I was trying to win, but I'm also trying to make a statement going into, because again, I win this game and go to the third game. You know, try get the momentum flowing, go into the third game with momentum, right? Like that's where my thinking was at. But don't worry, I got a receipt for that though. Don't worry. I paid for my hubris. And there's a lot of Clive things here. Like I really don't think I knew how to deal with. Like forward 2-2. No, I was taking the piss. I didn't even punish 2-1, bro. I was taking the piss. Running 3, CD3, forward 3, one more hit. Back 2. I didn't power crush that time. Down 3+4. And then we get a game on the board. We're tied up 1-1. And I was wondering if he was going to switch to the Lily, but he didn't. So we go into the third game. Had something resembling momentum go into the third game, which is pretty nice. It's nice to have. But I think my biggest problem going into this game here, I think I took my foot off the gas a little bit. I went another round down for again. I did it again. I think I did take my foot off the gas a little bit. Yeah, I think I started feeling myself a bit too much as well there. Like a very unnecessary hell sweep, I have to say, right? Back to the wall, counter hit. This should have been dead, but he missed the follow for some reason. Yeah, that was, see, this is a situation for Hwarang. Like, I think versus Clive as well, Clive has a very good sidestep, right? So to try and keep him in check after while setting 4-4, I'm not even sure what my best option would have been, right? Like, I think I was worried about him mashing. So down 4-4 keeps him in check. Also, it's just like, there's so much to think about. Like, I don't really think I just had a quick option to go to that's gonna keep him in check while also not putting myself at risk, like the down forward 4 into stance to death. Is what it is, though. Good sidestep, just good awareness on his part. He had the life lead. No punish. Like, again, a lot of punishes went by the wayside. And the down 1 into full crash down forward 2. Like, I think Clive's full crash down forward 2 is one of the best low pokes in this game. -12. If they haven't changed in season 2, by the way, like, I'm not sure if they should have, but -12, you can't low parry it. Seems to be combing pretty much. Like, I think it's such a good low poke. And then after down 1, which is like, down 1 is what, +3, +2 on hit for a high crushing low poke. Like, very good. Again, another side, you see another side step here after the while setting 4-4. Again, I'm thinking in real time, like, how do I keep him in check after this while setting 4-4? Don't have the option yet. E-burst there. Good low parry in the down by 4. I've done that a few times this set, so no reason for him not to go to it. And then the heat smash on wake up. Oi. Down 1, full crash down 4-2. Down 1, full crash down 4-2. That was my receipt. That was my receipt. So again, about half of my life is already gone here from this sequence, right? Again, it's an annoying sequence to deal with, in my opinion. I don't know which way you sidestep. That's something I'm gonna lab probably like right after I finish this video. Is which way you step Clive's while setting 4 after down 1 and hit, because down 1 into while setting 4 is a frame trap. So I don't really want to mash into it, because Clive can then do down 1 while setting 4 into Phoenix Shift mix up. So I didn't really want to have to deal with it. So it's like, I'm just going to sit here, block, hopefully does the while setting 4. But I need to know which way you have to step to beat the while setting 4 after down 1 and hit. Yeah, down 1. Like, you can mash it to interrupt in the sequence here. Like, the full crash down 4-2 is not a frame trap. But it's scary. And then another low there with a shift 4. Guaranteed while setting 1-2. I'm now minus again. Another low. Like, it's like those down 3-4s I did in the previous game, man. He remembered. He paid me back for them. Surprised I didn't challenge on that shift 4. Oh, 4-2-2. Running 2. I had a count hit, but it's not looking good. One more hit does it. After heat dash, get him off me. And a duck for the down 3-4. Excellent work from Chikurin. I think going into the third game, I like, what I'm most upset with more than anything is if you look at, I think, just the difference between the second and the third game. You know, I think the first game was close, could have gone my way, but I think some very weird decisions on my end that kind of led to me losing. But the second game, I think, was sort of, I think it was your typical K-Wiz. It's the typical K-Wiz that you need to see to win a game. You know, especially against someone like Chikurin, just staying aggressive, staying in his face, not giving him the time to think, you know, and keeping in mind the times where you do think he is going to try and challenge and mash, like here where he goes for the forward 3. 2-4, keep it simple, keep him in check. I think I needed to do more of this 2-4 to try and bait the parry and go from there. But getting our plus frames, heat burst, keeping it simple, is back to the wall. There's not much he could do about this. Like he'd have to jab or do 2-1 to sort of interrupt in that situation. Just very simple, in your face, smash mouth Tekken, right? Like taking your risks, taking more calculated risks. Because this is only minus 13. Like, yeah, he engages a punish if he blocks this, but like, you know, I'm just not expecting that, right? Thinking he's probably going to try and move. That's been sort of his M. Like, I'm thinking either in that situation, he's either going to try and move or he's going to try and parry. And I'm pretty sure Clive's parry doesn't beat airborne moves. I'm not 100% sure. But like, I was like, yeah, it shouldn't. We're going to find out. But he didn't do it, you know. So again, it was just more of this I needed going into the third game. And I think I let my momentum get stopped too easily. Like when I did give him the hell sweep and he blocked it and he launched me, took me to the wall, right? And then the round was basically over there. Just stuff like that. I think I just need to be a bit better at going into this. So again, I was happy with how the second game went. First game was kind of whatever. Like here, like it's like these are the ways to win rounds with a statement, which I think I did very well. But going into the third, I think I sort of lost that pep in myself, unfortunately. So, in the day, it is what it is. He's an EVO Japan champion for a reason. I think I did all right, considering the situation. I definitely could have done better. Next time, I do hope to be better. My next major tournament is most likely going to be BAM in Australia, Tekken World Tour Master Event, and EWC qualifier. I'm very hell-bent on qualifying for EWC this year. I think I definitely have what it takes. I think my biggest enemy going into the season is going to be myself. I think as long as I prepare correctly, like here in this situation, I just hadn't played against Clive in season 2. And at the end of the day, that's my fault. Like I can easily write down the characters I don't have experience with, you know, and just answer. Like that's how I prepare for tournaments. If I'm going into a tournament, for example, I knew Chikurin would be in my path. I was expecting to play versus Chikurin. Like I knew, looking at my path, I'd probably win versus this guy beat this guy. I was expecting to beat Book and have to play Chikurin. That's as far as I was preparing my path in my head before the tournament, is like up to Chikurin, because I was expecting to beat all those guys. I was expecting to beat Book and then have to play Chikurin. And I knew it was going to be Clive or Lily. I have a lot of experience against Lily, and not so much against Clive, so I should have just been doing more Clive preparation going into it, right? So I think I'm going to be doing a lot more character prep. If there isn't someone to play against to use their character, it's up to me to just watch gameplay, etc, etc. Like at the end of the day, I think that's more on me than anything. But yeah, I'm hell-bent on qualifying for EWC this year. So yeah, appreciate you guys for watching this video. Please like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.